Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today in this video I am going to cover my PayPal interview experience for staff software engineer profile. I have total 10 plus years of experience in IT industry, and my tech stack is Java Microservices, cloud, and messaging queue like Kafka, JMS. Okay, so in this video I'll discuss the complete process in detail, like how many rounds were taken, how much time it took to complete the entire interview process end to end, and what was the final outcome. Okay, so let's start. So the very first step, that is how my profile got shortlisted. So I applied for this job role through the LinkedIn and also at the PayPal career page. Okay, so after applying to the job, it took approximately, I think, more than 2 weeks when I got back the call from the recruiter that I have applied against certain positions, and they are good to go. So my profile has been shortlisted, and they want to conduct initial screening round, and mainly in the screening round they check like what all tech stack I have worked on, what is my previous project. So I was already like earlier working in the payment industry itself, so that went into my favor, since I have been working in the payment industry for the last 7 years. So there, like, I knew like what all technology being used in the payment industry, and on top of that I was working on the microservices, Spring Boot, Java, and on database side I have all worked on the NoSQL and the MySQL. So, and then they asked few questions related to concurrency, multi-threading. So it was like screening round was quite pretty easier. So now I'll move to the total interview rounds that was taken for this position. So all in all, there were total 5 rounds conducted, and all of these 5 rounds were not conducted on the same day. So these 5 rounds were conducted on 5 different days. So 2 rounds were completely technical in the sense like it was completely code driven round, that was a pure coding round. Then the third round was like a system design round, where they asked many questions related to system designing and NFR requirement. And then the fourth round was like at the staff level they asked some leadership questions. So we can say that it was like behavioral round, and leadership related questions would ask like how will you handle this situation if you are, they will put you in certain situations, like they will give you certain cases, and they will see like how do you respond in that situation. Okay, and the last round was like taken by the hiring manager. So it was, again, you can say that it was kind of war round, like here they will ask some questions, very tricky question, and then they will judge you like how do you respond. The first round was like as I told earlier, like it was completely coding round. So here in this round they mainly ask core Java questions, a lot questions around OOPS concept, and then the multi-threading questions in the microservices, like they were in a prod situation, if any issue occurs in microservices, how can we trace it, have I worked on the monitoring part or not, monitoring and observability part. So like how you can configure the Grafana dashboard, Prometheus, those things. And then they asked like if I have to build a payment system from scratch, how at very high level, how can we do that. Okay, and they ask a few coding questions related to multi-threading. So one question was like the typical question, it's normally asked almost in all the finance company or banking company, that is the producer consumer problem. So they also asked not directly producer consumer problem they asked. So it was a variation of producer consumer problem, and they told me to write a solution. The code, it should not be pseudo code, so you have to write the code, you have to write your code, then you have to execute it. Okay, and there should be no any compile time error or runtime error in your code. Suppose like for producer consumer problem, if you initially solve it using the blocking queue, so then they will ask you don't use the inbuilt classes of Java, write your own logic. And in that case they might ask you to write it using the wait and notify, uh, wait and notify, yes. So just be ready, and whenever you go to any interview or any payment company, then focus a lot on the multi-threading part, concurrency part, uh, then deadlocks. How can we resolve the deadlock real time problem. They will ask you to write the code that how you can create the deadlock, and then they will again ask how can we resolve a deadlock. So these questions are the favorite questions of payment industry, so they also ask me this question, that is the producer consumer problem. Then they ask me one question related to mutex, uh, how can we write the code of the mutex. And then they also ask me some of the questions related to this thing. mm, yeah. uh, they also ask a few questions related to stream concepts, how can we achieve the parallel streams, write code for that, where exactly I have used the parallel streaming. So those questions were also asked. And then all in all, they asked me three coding questions, and all of these three coding questions must be running. There should no any compile time. For some of my friends, even if they were able to write the code for two questions fully functional, so they got selected. But for my case, I was able to write coding. I was able to solve all three coding problems. So this was the first round. So after clearing first round, you go to the second round. So let's move to round 2. Okay, so in round 1 there were a few more questions related to core Java itself, so they asked me to write the immutable classes and custom immutable class. And specifically in that they mentioned that you have to also use one class. So this immutable class has one property, that is mutable class itself, and you have also to keep the property as the list and also the date, so that they wanted to check whether I am able to write the immutable class or not using the date and list and mutable class as a dependency of this class. And then they ask the internal functioning of concurrent hash map, and basically again in the concurrent in a concurrent environment, how you will implement the concurrent hash map and why can't you use the hash map. Then you have to give your argument, why should you use the concurrent hash map. They will ask something, and they also ask why can't you use the hash map. And if we can't use hash map, then before concurrent hash map, how people were using hash map in multi-threading environment or concurrent environment. So you should have the answer for that, how even the hash map we can use in which way. The problem statement was something there are multiple users, and they will give you the custom data, and then you have to write a program, take those data as input, and then you have to find the top 3 users who have the highest failed payments. Okay, and then some of the questions like hash map and priority queue. So that was overall round 1, mostly focused on the core Java, multi-threading, concurrency, and some of the questions of microservices. So that's it. After this, once you clear this round, then you will move to round 2. Okay, and round 2 was mostly more focused towards the microservices deep dive. So here in this part they started with very basic questions why do we need microservices, what are the challenges of monolithic applications, and in which scenario still the monolithic application is better than the microservices, what are the additional challenges come with the microservices. Then if you have to design a microservice-based architecture, what all things you will consider, you need and then they also ask the question related to design pattern of microservices. Can I tell few design pattern that is used in microservices and which of them I have used. Okay, so you should also know some of the design pattern that is used in microservices. and why exactly we use that. Then again they ask some of the repetitive concept that which they had asked in the previous round, that is the multi-threading. And in this round they gave me two programming questions on Java. So one question was again from the multi-threading itself, but this time they asked me to use the this thing thread pool concept, that is the Kaise thread pool, and single and this one was Kaise thread pool, another was I think fixed thread pool. And few more questions related to database side, like they ask few questions related to MongoDB, where MongoDB is advantage, whether I have used MongoDB in my project or not, and why I have used it, what could be the alternatives, and what advantage I got using the MongoDB. So those questions were asked, and they gave a one scenario that suppose you are handling an ecom application. So in which scenario, in which all use cases you will use the MongoDB, and what are the use cases where you will go for the relational databases. So they ask these type of questions, use cases based questions. So you should prepare accordingly, like you should know exactly what are the use cases where we can go for the MongoDB, and what are the use cases where we can go for the relational databases. So once you clear the round 2, then you will move to round 3. So in my case, there was gap of 4 to 5 days between each round. So once I cleared the first round, then I got the call for second round after 4 days from the recruiter that I have cleared round 1. So they asked me when I'm available. So my second round was conducted just after 5 days of the round 1, and my third round was conducted again after 4 days of round 2. So on an average, it was gap of 4 days between each round. So in round 3 it was mainly system design round. So here the very first question itself was that I have to design a new PayPal payment authorized system, and its TPS should be minimum 50k. Okay, so then accordingly we have to come up with the architecture, what all things you are going to consider, and then they just gave me this statement, and then accordingly I have to propose the solution, and then you have to come up with your solution and thought process. Then after that they ask few of the questions related to sharding, what is the idempotency, where exactly it's used, and then they also ask few questions related to rule engine, because in payment industry you have to execute few rules in order to prevent the fraud. So they also ask few questions like how we can manage the risk of any transactions, how we can prevent the fraudulent transactions. So and then they ask how we can design the notification services in what is the best way, and also what is the easiest way to design a notification system, and to plug, and can we build some generic notification system as a plugin, and that can be plugged into any existing applications, and how easily it can be achieved. And then they ask a few other questions related to sharding, and then they ask what can be different sharding strategy for different applications, and how we can handle the hot partitions effectively. So these were mainly questions asked in the system design round. Okay, so once you clear the system design round, then you will move to round 4, that is mainly at a staff level, and beyond staff level they take this round to all the people, because this is the leadership position where basically you do not need to work only as an individual contributor, but you have also to manage the team, or to support the team members technically, or to help them out in the complex problem scenario. So basically in this round mainly they check the candidate's ability to lead, whether he can lead or not. Okay, so here they ask me how I have managed the technical devs across 15 microservices, then how I ensure that although we are building a new feature or we are building a new application, but how do we ensure that the existing clients or existing application has the backward support available, how do we ensure the backward compatibilities, and if I have to design a new application from the scratch, how comfortable I am to build a robust architecture for any new applications. So this was more, there was no any coding question in this round. It was mainly to check like how do you think, uh, how do you handle the situation, pressure situation, what would be your response. So they notice your, basically in this round they notice like how do you respond, what is your thought process, and they note all these things. So, and final round, that is the like bar manager round, or like hiring manager round. So in this round mainly again, uh, here hiring manager mainly interested like what are the major contributions which you have done in your previous organizations, uh, what is your major achievement, or like what is even if you say something like I have done something like 4 years earlier, 5 years earlier, so they are not more keen to know that. They are more interested like what major things, what major milestone you have achieved recently in your project, whether it can be like some migration project, like if there is some legacy application you have migrated to the microservices, and whether how much money it saved, or like how much effort it saved, like how helpful it was to the organization. So you have to tell your story accordingly. So all in all, these were 5 rounds. So once you clear all these 5 rounds, then you will get the call from the HR that you have cleared all 5 rounds. Then there will be salary discussion. They will tell you about the company, their work policy, like work-life balances, what all additional benefits they will provide you, and finally there will be a salary discussion. So I can say one thing, that the salary is quite decent for the staff engineer role and beyond that, and you can easily target minimum 75 plus, including everything CTC, and at upper level I know some people have also got more than 1.2 CR. Okay, so guys, that was it. If you feel that it was helpful to you, please like, comment, and if you have any question you can just put in the comment section. I will definitely try to answer it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thanks a lot.